Hey everyone out there. I'm Catherine over at a Diabetic Ballerina, and I finally worked up the courage to do a submission for the You Can Do This project, which actually is a project that helped me a lot when it first started, and I guess I was too chicken to add something at the time, back months ago. So my story is pretty recent. I guess now that we're in November, we're heading up to my 1-year anniversary, or diaversary as everybody likes to call it, which I kind of like. I'd like a cake for everyone who is out there who's listening. Can I have a cake? And it's been a rough year. So my diabetic year began with me graduating at the University of Alabama's dance program. And I was at the top of my game. I was dancing in shows. I was getting great marks, 4.0. And everything was going great. And I started to feel really sick. And it led into the Christmas from hell, pretty much. I was too sick to walk across the stage to get my diploma. So going back for my master's so I can walk across the stage this time. I'm gonna get it. But anyways, it was really tough, and we kind of didn't figure out what it was until after Christmas. They did some tests back when I was in Canada, and but we finally took care of it. Got me on insulin, type 1, and that was it. So I was kind of thrown out into the wild, and it was kind of scary, really scary. So being out in the diabetic wild, starting at my first job, dancing at Montgomery Ballet as a trainee, it was it was an incredible experience. That's all I'm going to say. And that's the ballet part. The diabetes part was nightmare is too strong a word. It was more like, no, nightmare. I'm going to use that. So, yeah, thrown out into the wild. Got some insulin pens. They started me off on a Pedra and Lantus, and giving that first shot. Oh man! It took me about 10 minutes, I think, to do. I just sat there in my bedroom because my roommate had a problem with needles. Bless her heart, but she still did. And I had to do it before ballet, and I was so scared, and I thought, oh no, I've taken too much, I'm going to drop dead in ballet class, which I didn't because I'm still here. But doing all of that and trying to learn new choreography and dance in class, and you're sweating, you're being yelled at, and you're wondering what your blood sugar is. And then, of course, the more you get yelled at, the higher it goes. Stress. And I guess it was just a really unpleasant experience starting out, which I think is pretty typical when you are first diagnosed and you try to go back to real life. That's not real life anymore. It's different. It'll always be different. So what happened to me was I was given a great opportunity to be a soloist in a different ballet company, Over Contemporary Ballet. And so I left and moved to a different company. But before I moved, I had a really nasty low, and I was out working out, and I pushed too hard. Because I think I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I mean, I'm a dancer. It's kind of the job description. I didn't want to say no. And I just kept going. And I tore up my ankle really badly, which 6 months down the road of not healing, they actually performed surgery when I was in New York, when I was supposed to be dancing with complexions, but instead I was getting surgery. And that was an interesting experience, just having the diabetes now. I had to do all these tests that I had never done before. And granted, I'm used to the Canadian healthcare system, which is kind of like, if you have a pulse, you're healthy. We're just going to send you on through. And here it's all about, making sure the insurance companies will pay for it. And so, doing an EKG and all this blood work and blah, 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 blah. Kind of freaked me out. I was like, am I going to die? Obviously not. So they fixed my ankle. And I'm pretty much healed up from it now. It's been about 3 months. I still have these nice little scars. We're working on that. I'm healing as fast as I can. But tonight, we finished our, first show of the season with Rova. And it was nice. I mean, I couldn't dance yet, so I worked the backstage. So this is just backstage makeup. I mean, imagine what real stage makeup looks like. I should probably do a video with that, scare everybody. But it was just really nice getting back into things. Because when I had this injury and I was struggling to get used to the diabetes, getting used to the shots, I almost quit dance. I almost gave up. And I still have moments sometimes where I almost want to just stop and be a real person again and not have to deal with all these little tiny stupid variables that mess up your blood sugar. I'm talking to you, It's nice to talk to people who know. And it was frustrating and I felt like everything had been taken away by this stupid disease that will never go away. And I went through phases where I went on the pump. I got an Omnipod. It's kind of like, ooh, sweat mark. That's nice. It's kind of there on my arm. I have a Dexcom, but it's on my butt, and this is a family show, so you have to use your imagination. And getting used to that was tough, but I would change my pump site and think, okay, good, 3 more days and then I'll be cured and I can take it off. I felt like it was like braces that I just toughed it out for a little bit and they could come off and be done. And obviously I'm still a diabetic, so it's not going away. And I actually attended D-Treat in Tampa, Florida, first week of July. It was the most amazing experience of my life. I got to meet other type 1 diabetics who were my age, who were dealing with the same things that I was dealing with. And before that, I felt so alone. You feel like just isolated. And nobody really understands like another diabetic and being face to face and really just sitting and talking about it, because everybody has been there and they all know and they're all supporting you. And it made a huge difference for me. I like to call it owning your diabetes. Before, I actually never said I have diabetes. I'd say, oh, this whole diabetes thing, as if it was over here. It wasn't actually me. It was kind of like under the rug. And I met people at D-Treat that own their diabetes, and I wanted to so bad. It was I wanted to name my pump. I wanted to talk about it freely, and I wasn't ready, and that's okay. You kind of just let it go and let it flow, and eventually, you can choose to own it or you don't have to. It's just whatever you want to do, whatever feels comfortable to you. And of course, being in a unitard at Steps on Broadway, taking ballet class with a pump and a CGM, that's, everybody knows. They don't really know what the pump is, though. They usually think it's some sort of calorie counter thing, and they want one. And then as soon as I say insulin pump, they go. And they give me that look. So I kind of had to own my diabetes, and I feel like I've got that now. but it took a lot of time, and it took, you know, a lot of frustration to get through things, and experimentation every day. I think what gets me is the consistency. There is no consistency, and with dance, it's always about consistency. Can you do that movement over and over again without thinking about it? Yes, I can. Can you, you know, give a bolus, you know, for this breakfast cereal and have it turn out, you know, and be a nice 100 at the end of the day? No. So what do? You know, for me, I tried to control everything. I tried to, I don't know, I put myself on 24-hour lockdown. I didn't drink, I didn't eat, I wrote down everything, and burnt myself out a couple of times. I'm hoping that I can stop doing that, but it's like a habit. I'll burn myself out. Please tell me that other people burn themselves out too. Anyways, I feel like I've talked a lot. And ballet is hard, but I stuck with it for 20 years. And diabetes is hard, and I'll be sticking with that for many more years to come. Hopefully not too many. But I'm ready. I'm prepared. And if I can wear my pump on stage and do 32 fouette turns, if you don't know what that means, Google it, then you can do this. I know you can. Because I didn't quit dance. I kept going. Because I'm bigger than diabetes. Dance came first. You came first. Diabetes came second. I know you can do it.